adding two rational expressions here. So we have 4 over y to second power minus 7y plus 12 plus 5 over y to second power minus 4y. So what's really happening here? So we want to be able to find the lowest common denominator first, so we have to focus on the denominators first. Very important, right? So to get the lowest common denominator, LCD, what do we need to do? We got to pull out the denominators. The first one, which is y to the second minus 7y plus 12. And this one is a trinomial, 3 terms. So for 3-term trinomial, we can always try the AC method, okay? If you're not getting the AC method, you got to try something else, all right? So AC method says what? Take the coefficient in front of the y squared here, which is 1, 1 times 12, which is 12, right? So we're using the AC method, correct? So for this one here, we're using the AC method. So 1 times 12, which is 12. And then we got to find two numbers that we multiply, give us 12. And the same two numbers add up, give us negative 7. What are they? So 12 can be what? It can be 12 times 1. Okay, 6 times 2. 3 by 4, right? For example, right? And then as you're doing that, very quickly, you got to look at, okay, what am I getting here? So that you don't waste too much time. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. So then 3 and 4, for example, is 12. Can you add them up in any way to give you, negative 7? Yes, only when both of them are negatives, right? So negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And negative times negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. All right? So once you get to this stage, you're done. So that means you have y minus 3 times y minus 4. Finish the first one. So go to the second one. So you said, I have y to the second minus 4y. So I got to factor that too. So when I'm factoring this one, so I have 2 terms, no more 3 terms. So you cannot use trinomial. You cannot use, AC method. All right? So here you have 2 terms. And anytime you have 2 terms, you got to think about greatest common factor. Okay? And you got to think about difference of 2 squares, sum of 2 squares, things like that. So you can get back to our videos, previous videos, where we have a factor there, right? So once we get to this one, so what's happening here? So we end up having, is there anything in common that we can do there? Yes. What is in common? Y. So we have y here in common, okay? So if y is out, so what do we have left? So we divide this by y, and we divide this by y. That's what it means. So y squared divided by y is y minus y out, 4 is left. Anything else to do? No. This also is done with. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't lose sight of what we're trying to do here, which is the lowest common denominator. So that means we got to pull out all the different factors. As we look at them, we have y here, which is the easiest one to pull out. All right? And then what else can we pull out here? So we have y minus 3. Then we have y minus 4, correct? So those are the difference. So y minus 3 here, y minus 4 here. Okay? Same y minus 4, which is here. So how many times are we going to take y minus y only? It only occurs here once. So we're going to take it once. How about y minus 3? Once here, 0 time here. So we're going to take it once. How about y minus 4? Once here, once here. So we got y minus 4 also out. Good. Take your time, ladies and gentlemen. Take your time. You're going to get it. All right? So once we get this, that's the lowest common denominator. So we go here now. So now we're all confident, so happy about what we're doing. So we have y, then y minus 3, y minus 4. And then plus, so we have the second fraction here. So we have y again, y minus 3 times y minus 4. All right? So we got to make adjustment to the numerators. That means the top expressions, if possible. So what does that mean? So we're going to compare the lowest common denominator with the original denominator here from the first fraction. So what do we have here? So for that one here, which is the lowest common denominator, so this one, what is this one? This one is y minus 3, y minus 4. So what is missing? Anything that is missing, ladies and gentlemen, that's the one that you multiply the top expression by. All right, again, if you look at the lowest common denominator, which is what we have there across, and then you look at the original denominator from the first fraction, this one here. So this is it after you factor it. So what do we have? What is it that we have missing? Y. So we're going to multiply 4 by y. That's how it works. Okay? And then we go with the second fraction. We look at this one, and then we look at the original one as well and see what is missing. What is missing between this one and this one here? Okay? So it's going to be what? It's going to be y minus 3. So we're going to multiply 5 by y minus 3. Do you see the magic here, ladies and gentlemen? You follow these steps, you would never get this wrong again. All right? So this is what we have. So this one is equal to what? So we have 4 times y, which is 4y, plus, now we can go ahead with these. So it's 5 times y is 5y, minus, because 5 times positive 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. And that is over y times y minus 3 times y minus 4. And the next thing we want to do is to see if there's anything to combine on the top. If there is, like in this case, yes. So we end up with 4y plus 5y is what? 9y. So you have 9y minus 15. Let's don't forget about that. Over what's happening at the bottom. We have y times y minus 3 times y minus 4. All right? Anything else that we need to add, subtract, or whatever else? No. We are pretty much done here. Okay? So these are the steps. Keep that in mind. Not difficult, but it's involved, so you got to pay attention, understanding the steps. All right?